Women's empowerment is not just a concept, it is a movement, a necessity, and a force that can change the world. It is the key to creating a more just, equitable, and prosperous society. Empowering women means allowing them to realize their fullest potential and offering them the tools, opportunities, and freedom to live life on their own terms. From political rights to economic independence, from education to healthcare, women's empowerment encompasses a broad spectrum of issues that collectively have the power to transform not just individual lives, but entire communities and nations. At its core, women's empowerment is about breaking down the barriers that have long held women back. These barriers are often invisible but deeply entrenched in social norms, cultural expectations, and historical inequalities. In many parts of the world, women have been denied the same opportunities, rights, and freedoms that men enjoy. Whether it is unequal access to education, limited participation in the workforce, or the pervasive culture of gender-based violence, these injustices create systemic challenges that hinder the progress of women. Empowerment is the force that challenges and dismantles these barriers, giving women the power to decide their own futures. The journey toward women's empowerment has been long and challenging, but progress has been made. Throughout history, women have fought for their rights and for equality, overcoming immense obstacles. The suffragette movement, for instance, was a turning point in the fight for women's rights, and today women have the right to vote in most parts of the world. But even as these victories have been achieved, there is still work to be done. Empowering women is not simply about giving them access to rights, it is about ensuring that they can exercise those rights fully and without fear or restriction. One of the most important aspects of women's empowerment is the access to education. Education is the foundation of empowerment because it provides women with the knowledge and skills needed to navigate and thrive in the world. When girls are educated, they are more likely to grow into women who can make informed decisions about their health, their finances, and their futures. Education empowers women to break the cycle of poverty, as it opens doors to better job opportunities and greater independence. It also empowers women to raise educated children, thus ensuring that the next generation is better equipped to face the challenges of the world. Equally important is economic empowerment. When women have control over their financial resources, they gain the ability to make decisions that directly affect their lives. Women's participation in the workforce has grown tremendously over the past century, but they still face significant obstacles, such as the gender pay gap and discrimination in the workplace. However, when women are given equal opportunities and the tools to succeed, they can drive economic growth, innovate, and lead businesses. Empowering women economically is essential not only for individual well-being, but for the prosperity of nations as a whole. Another crucial aspect of women's empowerment is the fight against gender-based violence. Violence against women in all its forms is an immense barrier to their empowerment. Domestic violence, sexual harassment, human trafficking, and female genital mutilation are just a few examples of the atrocities that women continue to face. This violence is not only a human rights violation, but also a major social and economic issue. Women who experience violence are less likely to participate fully in society, whether it be in the workplace, the community, or the family. To truly empower women, society must come together to eliminate all forms of gender-based violence and provide survivors with the support they need to rebuild their lives. In addition to these issues, women's empowerment also includes political participation. Women must have a voice in the decisions that affect their lives, whether it's in local councils, national governments, or global institutions. When women are in leadership positions, they bring new perspectives and solutions to the table. Studies have shown that women leaders are more likely to prioritize social welfare, education, healthcare, and gender equality, making their participation in politics critical to creating more inclusive and sustainable societies. The empowerment of women in political spheres not only benefits women themselves, but also enriches democratic processes and fosters policies that benefit everyone, regardless of gender. However, true empowerment goes beyond just addressing structural inequalities. It is also about changing societal attitudes and beliefs. For centuries, women have been subjected to stereotypes and prejudices that have limited their potential and opportunities. From the belief that women are inherently less capable than men to the expectation that women should be solely responsible for childcare and domestic duties, these stereotypes have perpetuated gender inequality. To empower women, we must challenge and change these outdated ideas. We must create a society where both men and women have the same opportunities to thrive, where gender is no longer a barrier to success. It is also essential to recognize the intersectionality of women's empowerment. Women's experiences are shaped not only by their gender, but also by other factors such as race, ethnicity, class, sexuality, and disability. As women from marginalized communities often face additional layers of discrimination and oppression. For example, women of color, LGBTQ women, and women with disabilities often experience compounded forms of inequality. Therefore, to truly empower all women, we must address these intersecting systems of oppression and ensure that empowerment is inclusive and accessible to everyone. Ultimately, empowering women is about more than just improving the lives of individual women. It is about improving society as a whole. When women are empowered, they contribute to stronger economies, healthier families, and more vibrant communities. The ripple effect of women's empowerment is far-reaching. Empowering one woman has the potential to change the lives of her family, her community, and even her nation. The empowerment of women is essential for the creation of a world that is fair, just and equal for all people, regardless of gender. Women's empowerment is not a one-time achievement, but an ongoing process, one that requires the commitment and collective action of individuals, organizations, governments, and communities. As we continue to work towards a more empowered world for women, we must recognize and celebrate the progress that has been made while also acknowledging the work that still needs to be done. Every step forward in women's empowerment brings us closer to a world where women and men can live as equals, with the freedom to pursue their dreams, aspirations, and potential without limitation. The path ahead may be long, but the journey is worth it, because when women are empowered, we all benefit. Women's empowerment is crucial for creating a fair and just society where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Empowering women not only benefits individuals, but also strengthens families, communities, and entire nations. When women are given equal access to opportunities, resources, and rights, they can contribute fully to all aspects of society, from the economy to politics and beyond. First and foremost, women's empowerment promotes gender equality. Historically, women have been denied equal access to education, employment, and political participation. By empowering women, we ensure that their voices are heard and their talents are fully utilized. This leads to more balanced decision-making, fostering a society where both men and women can work together to solve societal challenges. Furthermore, empowering women is directly linked to economic growth. When women have the resources to support themselves and their families, they contribute to the economy by starting businesses, joining the workforce, and advancing in leadership roles. Studies show that nations with higher levels of gender equality tend to have stronger economic outcomes as they harness the full potential of their population. Women's empowerment also plays a significant role in health and well-being. Educated women are more likely to make informed health decisions, which benefits both them and their families. Empowered women have greater control over their reproductive choices, leading to healthier families and communities. In turn, this promotes the cycle of empowerment, as healthier and educated women are better positioned to empower future generations. Ultimately, the importance of women's empowerment lies in its ability to create a more equitable and prosperous world for all. By ensuring that women can live without fear of discrimination, violence, or limitations, we pave the way for a more inclusive and sustainable future. Empowering women is not just a matter of justice, it is a critical step toward building a better world. Education plays a pivotal role in the empowerment of women, providing them with the tools and knowledge to navigate the world and create opportunities for themselves. It is one of the most effective means of breaking the cycle of poverty, overcoming discrimination, and achieving equality. Education equips women with the skills they need to be self-reliant, make informed decisions, and contribute to society in meaningful ways. First, education opens doors to economic opportunities. When women are educated, they have a greater chance of securing better paying jobs, achieving financial independence, and escaping poverty. Access to education enables women to gain the qualifications and skills necessary for the workforce, whether in traditional fields or in emerging sectors like technology and entrepreneurship. With education, women are not only empowered to support themselves, but also to contribute to their families and communities, lifting entire households out of economic hardship. Moreover, education helps women become informed and active participants in society. It allows them to understand their rights and assert them, whether in legal, political, or social contexts. Educated women are more likely to participate in civic and political life, helping shape policies and decisions that affect their lives and their communities. They are more aware of issues like gender-based violence, reproductive rights, and social justice, and are better equipped to advocate for change. Education also plays a vital role in improving health outcomes for women. Educated women tend to have better health, as they are more likely to seek medical care, make healthier lifestyle choices, and have smaller, well-spaced families. This education empowers women to make informed decisions about their bodies, health, and reproductive rights, leading to healthier families and communities. Ultimately, education is the cornerstone of women's empowerment. By providing women with the knowledge, skills, and confidence to take control of their futures, education creates a ripple effect that benefits not only individual women, but entire generations. When women are educated, they are empowered to transform their own lives and contribute to the betterment of society as a whole. The intersectionality of women's empowerment recognizes that women's experiences of inequality and discrimination are not shaped by gender alone. Instead, they are influenced by a complex web of interconnected factors such as race, ethnicity, class, sexuality, disability, and other social identities. Understanding intersectionality is crucial because it highlights how different forms of oppression overlap and compound, creating unique challenges for women who belong to marginalized or disadvantaged groups. For example, a white middle-class woman may face gender-based discrimination, but her experience will differ greatly from that of a black woman, who may also confront racial discrimination in addition to gender bias. Similarly, a woman with a disability may face barriers to education and employment not only due to her gender, but also because of societal attitudes and infrastructure that fail to accommodate her needs. By acknowledging these overlapping systems of oppression, we can better understand the diverse and often more complex ways in which women experience inequality. Intersectionality also helps illuminate the need for inclusive policies and solutions that address the unique challenges faced by different groups of women. Empowering all women requires addressing these multiple dimensions of identity and ensuring that policies, programs, and initiatives are designed with a full understanding of the very barriers that exist. For instance, while gender equality initiatives may focus on promoting women's rights in general, they must also account for the specific needs of Indigenous women, women of color, LGBTQ women, and women from lower socioeconomic backgrounds. Moreover, intersectionality fosters solidarity among women from different backgrounds by highlighting shared struggles while also respecting diverse experiences. It encourages a more inclusive approach to advocacy where all women, regardless of their social identities, can find support and a platform for their voices to be heard. The intersectionality of women's empowerment is about recognizing and addressing the layered experiences of discrimination and inequality that women face. It is about creating a more inclusive, nuanced, and comprehensive approach to women's rights, ensuring that all women, regardless of their background, have the tools and opportunities to thrive. The ripple effect of empowering women is profound and far-reaching, extending beyond the individual to impact families, communities, and entire societies. When a woman is empowered, the positive changes she experiences often extend to those around her, creating a cycle of empowerment that uplifts entire generations. This ripple effect is not only about improving the lives of women themselves, but also about creating a more equitable, prosperous, and sustainable world for everyone. At the most immediate level, empowering women leads to stronger families. Educated and economically independent women are better equipped to care for their families, provide for their children, and make decisions that promote the well-being of all household members. Studies show that when women control household income, they are more likely to invest in their children's education and health care, which can significantly improve the quality of life for future generations. These children, particularly girls, are more likely to stay in school, pursue higher education, and break the cycle of poverty, creating a lasting impact on the community. The ripple effect also extends to communities. Empowered women contribute to social change by taking active roles in their neighborhoods, working to address local issues such as access to healthcare, education, and economic opportunity. As women gain more influence, they bring new perspectives and solutions to societal challenges. Whether through leadership in grassroots movements or formal political participation, women's involvement in decision-making can lead to more inclusive and equitable policies that benefit entire communities. Moreover, empowering women fuels economic growth. Women who are financially independent and able to participate in the workforce contribute to national economies. Research consistently shows that countries with higher levels of gender equality tend to have stronger economic performance. When women are empowered to start businesses, innovate, and lead, they create jobs and contribute to industries in ways that benefit not just themselves, but their communities and countries as a whole. The economic success of women has a multiplier effect, benefiting businesses, workers, and economies at large. On a global scale, the empowerment of women is key to addressing the world's most pressing challenges, such as poverty, inequality, and climate change. When women are empowered, they are better equipped to advocate for and implement sustainable practices, promote peace and security, and lead efforts to combat climate change. Women play a critical role in environmental stewardship, with many leading local efforts to conserve natural resources, combat deforestation, and improve food security. Ultimately, the ripple effect of empowering women creates a more balanced, harmonious society. As women break free from the limitations imposed by discrimination and inequality, they pave the way for others to follow. This collective progress benefits everyone, men, women, and children alike, by promoting a world where equality, opportunity, and justice are the norms rather than the exceptions. When women rise, everyone rises with them, and the world becomes a better place for all. The intersectionality of women's empowerment is a concept that acknowledges the interconnectedness of various social identities and the unique challenges women face based on their gender, race, class, sexuality, disability, and other aspects of their identity. This intersectionality highlights that women's experiences of inequality are not shaped by gender alone, but are also influenced by the overlapping and compounding effects of other forms of oppression. Understanding intersectionality is essential for addressing the complex realities of women's lives and ensuring that empowerment efforts are inclusive and effective. For example, a woman of color may face not only gender discrimination, but also racial discrimination, which can create more barriers to accessing education, employment, healthcare, and justice. Similarly, a woman with a disability might face not only gender-based violence, but also physical and social barriers that prevent her from participating fully in society. These compounded challenges require nuanced, multifaceted solutions that address the specific needs of women from diverse backgrounds. Intersectionality also reveals that women's experiences are not homogeneous, and what empowers one woman may not empower another in the same way. Empowerment initiatives must therefore recognize and cater to the diverse realities of women's lives. For instance, policies and programs designed to promote gender equality should take into account the experiences of Indigenous women, LGBTQ women, and women from lower socioeconomic backgrounds. Without an intersectional approach, the voices and needs of marginalized groups can be overlooked, limiting the effectiveness of empowerment efforts. Moreover, the concept of intersectionality encourages solidarity among women from various backgrounds, highlighting both shared struggles and the importance of respecting and valuing difference. It promotes a more inclusive approach to feminism, where women can come together to support one another while also acknowledging the unique challenges they face. Challenging societal stereotypes and attitudes is an essential part of women's empowerment. For centuries, societal norms have shaped and limited the roles and opportunities of women, often reinforcing harmful stereotypes that restrict women's potential and reinforce gender inequality. These stereotypes are deeply ingrained in many cultures, media, and institutions, influencing everything from career choices to family roles and self-perception. Overcoming these stereotypes is crucial in creating a world where women are free to pursue their dreams and aspirations without being bound by outdated and limiting expectations. One of the most pervasive stereotypes is the belief that women are less capable or less intelligent than men. This stereotype has been used to justify denying women equal opportunities in education, the workforce, and leadership positions. Women have historically been seen as best suited for domestic roles, while men were considered the primary breadwinners and leaders. These stereotypes not only limit women's opportunities, but also reinforce a culture of gender-based discrimination that discourages women from striving for success outside traditional gender roles. Another stereotype often faced by women is the pressure to conform to unrealistic beauty standards. The emphasis on physical appearance over intelligence, talent, or leadership qualities has been perpetuated by media, advertising, and societal expectations. This reinforces the idea that a woman's worth is tied to her looks and can undermine her self-esteem and confidence. It can also lead to harmful practices like body shaming, eating disorders, and other forms of self-rejection. By challenging these beauty standards and promoting diverse representations of women, we help break down the restrictive norms that limit women's self-worth and potential. Additionally, there is a stereotype that women are inherently emotional, nurturing, or overly sensitive, which has often been used to undermine their authority or decision-making capabilities, especially in professional or leadership contexts. This stereotype suggests that women are better suited for roles in caregiving, such as teaching or nursing, and less suited for high-pressure, high-status positions in business or politics. Challenging these attitudes requires shifting the perception that women cannot be as logical, assertive, or resilient as men. Women can and do excel in leadership roles across all sectors, and their ability to balance empathy with strategic thinking is a strength, not a limitation. To challenge these societal stereotypes and attitudes, it's necessary to actively promote gender equality and representation. Media education and public policy play significant roles in shaping perceptions of women. By advocating for more diverse and realistic portrayals of women in media, showcasing women in leadership positions, and highlighting women's achievements in various fields, we can start to dismantle these stereotypes. It's also important to educate both men and women about the harmful effects of these stereotypes and encourage people to question and reject them. Gender equality cannot be achieved when half of the population is consistently held to lower standards or pigeonholed into certain roles. In workplaces, homes, and schools, challenging societal attitudes means actively encouraging women to step out of traditional roles and pursue careers and hobbies that are often considered outside the norm. Creating spaces where women are encouraged to explore all their interests and talents, whether in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, STEM, or the arts, helps break down the barriers that have traditionally held women back. Women should feel free to follow their passions without fear of judgment or being told that they are not suited for certain professions or pursuits. Ending a speech without headings is important because it creates a sense of closure, leaving the audience with a clear, impactful takeaway. When a speaker concludes without dividing the ending into additional sections, it allows for a seamless wrap-up, reinforcing the core message in a cohesive manner. The audience can reflect on the entirety of the speech as one unified thought, rather than being left with fragmented ideas. In motivational speeches especially, it's critical to end on a note that feels personal and inspiring. When a speaker concludes without headings, it allows the speaker to directly address the audience in a more intimate way, summarizing the key points and leaving them with a final thought that resonates deeply. This approach helps drive home the main message, making the speech feel more unified and emotionally powerful. By closing without headings, the speaker also signals a natural and conclusive end to the message, offering a sense of resolution. It allows for a smoother transition to the audience's reflection and action after the speech. In essence, ending without headings leaves a lasting impression, encouraging the audience to internalize and reflect on the ideas shared, empowering them to take the message forward into their lives.